Hello, dear friends. Welcome to Onyx English. I am On. Now, today we want to move a little bit away from what we have been doing so far. I'm sure you can remember that all this while we have been discussing grammatical function. So, I think we have done a good job giving you all the steps you need to arrive at all the grammatical functions as set by Waec. So today, let's go into another important aspect of SSC or WASSCE as conducted by Waec. Now, this aspect is also very crucial because we have noticed over the years that many of our students have issues tackling questions in this aspect. And this aspect is called figures of speech. Figures of speech, as you can see here. Now, the way we are taught, we are not taught the definitions of figures of speech. No. We are taught with examples. Okay? But today we shall start properly by defining what a figure of speech is. It's very, very important. So, what is a figure of speech, or what are figures of speech? Now, a very quick glance at dictionary will tell you that figures of speech or a figure of speech or rhetorical figure is a word or phrase that intentionally deviates from ordinary language use to produce rhetorical effect. Now, without wasting time, there are some words that are prominent in this definition. Rhetorical, and then deviate or deviation. Of course, again, ordinary language. Okay? Now, when we say rhetorical, of course, it's from the word rhetorics. And what the way we can understand it easily is to see it as a branch of knowledge that deals with effective communication in language. So when we're able to communicate effectively, either in written form or in oral form, that aspect of knowledge is called the rhetorics. So when we now say rhetorical figure or device, it means all those things you bring together, all those things you bring in your speech or in your writing that makes your writing to be very, very effective, that enables you to achieve effective communication. So when we say therefore that a figure of speech or rhetorical effect or a speech, is a word or phrase that intentionally deviates, that is, it deliberately moves away from the normal ordinary language. What you know, that phrase or expression intentionally moves away from it and use it in a way that we don't know it to be used. So, when we have that, it is called what? Figure of speech. Now, let me give you an example, a very simple example. For instance, somebody said, John is a pig. Okay? John is a pig. We know that John is a human being and ordinarily should not be a pig. But if you decide to say, John is a pig, it means that you are not using the word pig in ordinary sense. So you are now attaching a special meaning to the word pig by qualifying human being as a pig. And of course, you should suspect that what it means is that the person is a dirty person. Okay? So when you say John is a pig, you are saying that John is what? A dirty person. So that intentional deviation, movement away from ordinary meaning or ordinary usage is what we call figures of speech. You have to bear that in your mind. Now, the way we are trained to use examples. So we can now talk about examples of what? Figures of speech. Note also that we can also have types of figures of speech, which I won't of course delve into now because of the purpose of this video. Instead, I will spend time to look at what? Examples of figures of speech. And examples are so many as you can think of. We have metaphor, which is the most important and the most prominent. We have simile, that's the next one. We have personification. We have our euphemism. We have our oxymoron. We have our metonymy. We have our hyperbole. We have our litotes. We have our synecdoche. We have our antithesis, and so on and so forth. I think the number is limitless. So these are examples of figures of speech. You have metaphor, simile, personification, euphemism, oxymoron, metonymy, hyperbole, litotes, antithesis, and so on and so forth. So, dear friends, we shall have time to treat all of these examples one by one, and then we'll now give sentence example for each of them. Then that will lead us to answer questions, of course, as set by Waec and NECO. Thank you for your time. I still remain your teacher, ONUGC. This is Honest English.